Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's weekly market update for the week of September 12th, 2016. Now, in the last week there hasn't been too much trend change. However, depending on what you're reading out there, you'll see that it's either a buyer's market or a seller's market. And how is that really possible to have two different types of markets at the exact same time? So, in the next 7 minutes I'll show you exactly how to make sense of this week's real estate trends. So here we are, we're about a third way through the month of September, and we can start analyzing where we think the market's going to go. So looking at the numbers so far, we're at 185 condos listed in the west side of Vancouver, and 83 of those condos sell. Now if we look at exactly a month ago where we were a third way through the month of August, we were at 137 listings and 76 sales. So it looks like September is going to be slightly busier than it was in August, but really the trends are still quite similar. Now, one new tool I wanted to introduce this week was looking at something that we as professionals call months of supply, which is simply looking at how long would it take us to sell out of all of our current existing inventory given current demand. And if it takes us about 4 months or less to sell out of all the inventory, then we are considered to be in a seller's market. If it takes 4 to 6 months, then we're in a balanced market. And if we're at 6 months or greater than that, then we are in a buyer's market. So how does that play out in the numbers? If you look at the last year of activity, we'll notice that for most of that duration, we were in a seller's market. In March, we were at 1.3 months supply of inventory, so that was really the peak of the mountain, and that's really when we saw a lot of buzz in the media about how busy the market is, how high prices are, how little supply there is. Around June, we started to see a natural summer cooling of the market at 1.7 months supply. And then in August, we had the introduction of the 15% foreign buyer's tax. A lot of people got fed up with how difficult it is to purchase a property and how expensive it is. A lot of sentiment changes. And so in August, we saw a 3.2 months supply. So really a shift into what's starting to look like more of a balanced market. However, when you're educating yourself about the marketplace, it's important to make sure that you're reading information that's going to pertain to what you're looking to do. So are you looking to buy a house, a detached house, or are you looking to buy or sell a condominium? Because those markets do play out differently. So if we look at those specific markets, for example, detached houses, we'll see that those have in fact been in buyer's territory for quite some time. Now, what are some of the characteristics of a buyer's market? If you're a seller or if you're a property owner, it means that maybe prices are softening a bit. It's going to be much more difficult to sell your home. And that's why we've been seeing a lot of negative sentiment, especially when we're reading some articles which are talking specifically about houses, is that yes, the housing market is not as active as the condo market. And so it's really important to understand when you're educating yourself the conditions of the market, what segment are they talking about? For example, condominiums, those have been and still are in a seller's market. Yes, you can see right now they're shifting towards a balanced market, but they're not quite there yet. The characteristics of a seller's market is that it's going to be very busy. If you're looking to purchase a property, if you're looking to sell a property, there's going to be a lot of activity in your property. You're probably going to get a higher price than you would have previously. But looking at this trend line as it's going towards a balanced market is that if you're looking to sell, what it comes down to, it's super important to right now have a very strong marketing strategy in place. If you're a buyer, probably the best time to buy in the last 2 years because you may not be competing against other groups, which means you can have subjects on your offers, which means that maybe you can negotiate a slightly better price. So it's super, super important to understand what part of the market we're talking about. Now, if you have any specific questions about this data presented today, we can go into a lot more detail together. So do let me know what you have questions about. I'm happy to answer and support you any way that I can. And of course, if you like this video and any of the previous videos, I do post every week. So do make sure you like this Facebook page to stay up to date on the current real estate market in Vancouver. Until this time next week, have a wonderful week ahead. Bye-bye.